In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, we are constantly told to seek power, success, and happiness in external achievements, in wealth, status, and control over our surroundings. But what happens when those things are taken away? What happens when the world proves to be unpredictable and uncontrollable? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers a timeless answer. It teaches us that true power is not found in controlling the external world, but in mastering the one thing we can truly command, our inner world. This is the power of calm. It's not a passive state of indifference, but an active, disciplined strength that allows you to face any challenge with clarity and resolve. Over the next 9 chapters, we will explore this profound idea through a practical, step-by-step framework. This isn't about becoming a different person. It's about remembering who you truly are, a person of reason, resilience, and inner peace. So, find a comfortable seat, take a deep breath, and let's begin our journey toward a more powerful, and calmer, you. Chapter 1, The Storm Outside, the Stillness Within. Imagine a ship caught in a violent storm, its wooden hull groaning under the assault of mountainous waves. The wind howls a furious symphony, and the deck pitches so wildly that the crew struggles to keep their footing. Every action they take is a desperate, reactive scramble, a fight for survival against the uncontrollable chaos of the sea. They believe their only hope is to somehow tame the storm itself, to command the wind to cease and the waves to calm. Now, contrast this with a different image, a vast, deep lake. On its surface, a strong wind might create white-capped waves, and a storm can certainly stir the upper layers. But far below, in the cool, silent depths, the water remains absolutely still. This stillness is not passive or weak, it is a profound state of being, unaffected by the fleeting turmoil above. It simply exists, calm and powerful, no matter what happens on the surface. This metaphor is the very heart of Stoic philosophy. Our lives are often like that ship in the storm. We're tossed about by external events, the rude email from a boss, the unexpected car repair bill, the criticism from a family member, or the constant barrage of alarming news headlines. We react instinctively, our emotions rising and falling with every change in the weather. We mistakenly believe that our happiness and power lie in controlling these external storms. We spend our lives trying to command the wind and the waves, a futile and exhausting endeavor. Stoicism offers a radical and liberating alternative. It teaches us that true power isn't about calming the sea, it's about finding and maintaining an unshakable stillness within ourselves, no matter how violently the waves crash. The outside world will always be a source of noise, unpredictability, and disappointment. It is a fundamental truth that we have very little control over the actions of others, the turns of the economy, or the forces of nature. Our true strength comes from our ability to master our own mind and, more specifically, our response to what happens to us. By choosing to focus on our internal state, we stop being a victim of circumstance and become the master of our own experience. We can choose how we interpret and react to every single event, no matter how challenging. As the great Stoic philosopher and Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is not merely a suggestion, it is a command. It is an invitation to shift our focus from the chaotic and uncontrollable external world to the single thing we can truly command, our own inner landscape. By doing so, we move from being a passenger on a tumultuous ship to being the captain who keeps a steady hand on the rudder, navigating the storm with inner resolve. This is the first and most crucial step on the path to inner strength. Chapter 2, Why Reactivity Weakens You. Think about the last time you reacted impulsively. Perhaps you snapped at a loved one for a minor mistake, fired off an angry email you later regretted, or found yourself spiraling into worry over a future event you couldn't possibly predict. What did that feel like in your body and mind? For most of us, it feels like a total loss of control. Our heart pounds, our breathing becomes shallow, our thoughts race in a frantic loop, and we feel a rush of negative, draining energy. In that moment, we are no longer thinking clearly, we are simply a bundle of raw emotion. This is the true cost of reactivity. When we operate from a place of pure emotion, our judgment becomes cloudy. The logical part of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, takes a back seat, and our primitive emotional brain, the amygdala, takes control. We lose our clarity, drain our mental and emotional energy, and often act in ways that are deeply out of alignment with our own values. It's a self-inflicted weakness, a complete surrender of our most important faculty, our reason. Each impulsive reaction erodes our self-respect and hands over our inner peace to the whims of the world. We give away our power every time we let an external event dictate our emotional state. The Stoics had a word for the state of mind that is free from these kinds of emotional disturbances: apatheia. It's a term that is often misunderstood in modern English, where it's conflated with apathy or not caring. But for the Stoics, apatheia wasn't about being emotionless or indifferent. It was about achieving a state of profound inner peace and stability through the disciplined use of reason. It's the difference between being a puppet, jerked around by every event and person you encounter, and being the puppeteer, observing the strings without letting them pull you. Calmness doesn't mean being a stone statue, it means being a quiet observer of your own internal landscape. You can feel an emotion, you can notice the anger, the fear, the sadness, without being consumed by it. You can acknowledge the feeling, understand its source, and then choose not to let it dictate your words or actions. By refusing to blindly react, you take back control. You become the conscious, deliberate author of your own life, rather than an automatic responder. This is the foundation of inner strength, recognizing that your feelings are visitors, not masters. You are the host of your mind, and you get to decide who stays and who simply passes through. Chapter 3: How to Pause Before You Respond. You've probably heard the simple yet profound advice: think before you speak. It's a phrase that contains the very essence of developing inner calm. It points to a critical moment in our experience. Between any event and our reaction to it, there is a tiny, almost imperceptible gap, a split second of possibility. The Stoics recognized this moment and called it the Stoic pause. It's that instant after something happens: a driver cuts you off in traffic, a colleague says something dismissive, you receive an unexpected bill, and before you choose your response. In that split second, you have a choice. Do you immediately react with anger, fear, or frustration, letting your primitive brain take over? Or do you take a single, conscious breath and create a tiny space for your reason to enter? This pause is not about inaction, it's about intentional action. It's about consciously choosing your response instead of being hijacked by your emotions. Epictetus, a former slave who became a celebrated Stoic teacher, captured this idea perfectly: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is not merely a clever quote, it is a practical instruction for living. The quality of our lives isn't determined by the events we face, but by the quality of our responses to them. A person who responds with calm and grace to a minor setback will have a fundamentally different experience of life than someone who reacts with rage and despair to the same event. One person is a victim of the event, and the other is a master of their mind. The good news is that the Stoic pause is a skill, and like any skill, it can be strengthened with practice. You don't need to start with a major crisis. Begin with the small things. The next time you drop a plate and it shatters on the floor, instead of immediately getting frustrated, simply notice the feeling of annoyance. Take a slow, deep breath before you do anything else. The next time you feel the urge to say something sharp or sarcastic, pause for just 1 second. This small act of conscious delay breaks the chain of impulsive reaction. It is a moment of profound freedom. Calmness isn't a state you're born with, it's a habit you build, one small, deliberate pause at a time. It is the fundamental practice that allows you to choose your response, rather than being a slave to your emotions. Chapter 4: Discipline of Thought, Training the Inner Voice. Our internal dialogue is the most intimate and influential conversation we will ever have. It is the constant, running commentary in our heads, the judgments, the worries, the fears, the criticisms. For most people, this inner voice is a source of anxiety and self-doubt. It is the voice that whispers, "You're not smart enough," or "What if this all goes wrong?" It can be a relentless stream of negativity that undermines our confidence and disturbs our peace. Without discipline, this inner voice can become our worst enemy, a constant source of stress and worry. A Stoic's inner dialogue is fundamentally different. It is not an echo chamber of fear but a rational, kind, and firm conversation. When anxiety tries to take hold, the Stoic's inner voice doesn't panic. It asks a powerful, disarming question: is this worry productive? Is this within my control? When anger begins to boil, it calmly questions, why am I letting someone else's actions disturb my inner peace? When self-doubt rears its head, it gently reminds, I will do my best, and that is all that can be asked of me. The outcome is not entirely up to me. This is a voice of reason, a guiding force that keeps us grounded. Training this inner voice is perhaps the most powerful practice for cultivating calm. You can start by challenging your negative thoughts with reason. Is the catastrophe your mind is predicting truly likely to happen? What evidence do I have to support this thought? Is the self-criticism you're giving yourself fair and accurate? Often, a simple, rational question can pop the balloon of an irrational fear. This is not about suppressing feelings, but about questioning the stories we tell ourselves about them. Tools like journaling can be incredibly helpful in this process. By writing down your thoughts, you bring them out of the chaotic echo chamber of your mind and onto the page. You can then examine them with a clear, detached perspective, seeing them for what they are, just thoughts, not absolute truths. Another powerful tool is breathwork or simple mindfulness meditation. Taking a few slow, deep breaths can act as an anchor, pulling your mind back to the present moment and away from the runaway train of anxious thoughts. By consciously shaping our inner dialogue, we become the calm, wise director of our own mental movie, rather than a frantic audience member trapped in a horror film. Chapter 5, Detachment, Letting Go Without Giving Up. The word detachment often sounds cold, like indifference or a lack of caring. But for a Stoic, it's not about not caring, it's about a profound, rational understanding of what is truly ours to control and what is not. True Stoic detachment is the recognition that while we can put our best effort into a project, its outcome is not entirely up to us. We can love a person deeply, but we don't own their feelings, their choices, or their future. We can work hard at our job, but we don't control the whims of the market or the decisions of our superiors. We are only in control of our own actions and character. This distinction is absolutely crucial to inner peace. Much of our suffering comes from our desperate and futile attempts to control things that are, by their very nature, uncontrollable: the weather, the economy, other people's opinions, the trajectory of our career, and even our own health in the long run. We cling to these external things as if they are part of us, and when they change, we feel a sense of loss and devastation. Detachment is the practice of letting go of this need for control. It's the moment we release our tight grip on outcomes and find peace in the purity of our own effort and intention. This is where the radical idea of amor fati, loving one's fate, comes into play. It's not a passive resignation or a defeatist attitude but an active, courageous embrace of everything that happens. It means seeing every challenge, every setback, and every joy as a necessary and even beautiful part of the unique tapestry of your life. When you stop fighting against reality, you find yourself with an immense new source of energy, and with it, a deep sense of peace. You don't give up on trying to make a difference, you simply stop attaching your inner peace to the outcome. You do your best, and you accept what comes, knowing that it is all part of the unfolding story of your life, and that your true purpose is to respond to it with virtue. Chapter 6, Calm in Action, the Quiet Leader. Calm isn't just for quiet contemplation, it is a superpower in the real world. It is the quality of a true leader. History is filled with examples of Stoics who led with profound calm in the face of incredible pressure and chaos. Consider the life of Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher who found himself ruling the Roman Empire during a time of constant war, economic instability, and a devastating plague that killed millions. In his private journal, which we now know as Meditations, he wrote with a clarity and calm that showed he was the master of his inner world, even as his outer world seemed to be falling apart. He didn't panic, he simply focused on his duty, on acting justly, and on maintaining his inner citadel of virtue. He was a leader who didn't react to crises, he responded to them with deliberate, rational action. He understood that a panicked leader causes more chaos, while a calm leader inspires confidence and clarity. Another powerful example is Seneca, a prominent statesman and philosopher who served during the turbulent and often terrifying reign of the young Emperor Nero. Seneca faced political intrigue, public scorn, exile, and eventually was forced to take his own life. Through it all, his writings show an unshakable commitment to reason and a remarkable inner calm. He knew that the only thing Nero could not take from him was his virtue and his peace of mind. He was a man who understood that his happiness was not contingent on his external circumstances but on the state of his own soul. True strength is not a loud, aggressive force. It is calm under pressure. It is the ability to think clearly and logically when everyone else is panicking. It is the steady hand, the clear voice, and the deliberate action that brings order to chaos. This isn't a quality reserved for a few historical figures, it's a quality that can be cultivated by anyone who chooses to practice it. Calmness is the quiet confidence that allows you to be unshaken, deliberate, and fully present, even when the world around you is screaming for you to lose your footing. A calm leader is a lighthouse in a storm, offering guidance and safety through their own unshaken presence. Chapter 7, Daily Practices to Cultivate Calm. Inner calm isn't a magical gift, it's a skill you build and a garden you tend to every single day. It's a series of small, consistent actions that reinforce your inner peace and strengthen your resolve. These are not grand gestures but simple, repeatable habits. One of the most foundational practices is morning reflection and evening journaling. In the morning, you can prepare your mind for the day ahead. Spend a few minutes thinking about the challenges you might face and how you want to respond to them. Visualize the difficult client, the stressful meeting, or the unexpected bad news, and mentally rehearse a calm, rational response. This isn't about worrying, it's about preparation and setting an intention for how you will show up. In the evening, you can reflect on the day. Where did you lose your composure? Where did you succeed in remaining calm? This process of self-examination helps you learn from your experiences, see your progress, and course-correct for the future. Another powerful practice is voluntary discomfort. This isn't about self-punishment, it's about expanding your tolerance for difficulty. Take a cold shower, fast for one of your meals, or choose to walk to a destination instead of taking a car. These small acts remind you that you are not fragile. They build your resilience and show you that you can be comfortable even in uncomfortable situations, which prepares you for the times when life throws you real challenges without your consent. It teaches your mind that you can endure minor hardships with grace and fortitude. Finally, practice choosing silence before speaking and choosing stillness before acting. How many times do we rush to fill a void with words or frantic activity? The next time you're in a conversation, try waiting a few extra seconds before you respond. The same goes for action. Before you rush to send that email, make that phone call, or start a new project, choose stillness. Take a moment to breathe, observe the situation, and think deliberately. These small pauses are where wisdom, not impulse, can guide you. They are moments of conscious choice that build the muscle of your inner calm. Chapter 8, Calm is not weakness, it's mastery. In a world that often rewards aggression, bravado, and loud displays of emotion, calmness can be tragically mistaken for weakness. People may see a calm person and assume they are a pushover, someone who doesn't care or is too passive to stand up for themselves. But let's be absolutely clear, a person who is calm is not someone who is afraid to fight. A person who is calm is someone who has already won the most important battle, the one within their own mind. Calmness is the ultimate power move. It is the unshakable quality of someone who knows their own values and isn't swayed by the opinions or actions of others. It is a clear mind in a chaotic moment, the steady hand that guides the ship through the storm. While others are flailing in panic and confusion, the calm person is making deliberate, thoughtful decisions. They are not defined by the world's chaos but by their own internal order. They have a core of quiet confidence that cannot be rattled by external threats or insults. As Marcus Aurelius so wisely observed, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but your estimate of it. This is the ultimate reframe. The problem isn't the external event, the problem is our internal judgment of it. For example, a sudden downpour isn't inherently good or bad, it is simply a fact. Our distress comes from our judgment that it has ruined our day. When we master our judgment, we master our pain and our fear. This is the goal of Stoicism, not to eliminate pain, but to eliminate the suffering we inflict upon ourselves through our negative thoughts and judgments. Calmness is the warrior's breath before the battle begins. It is the silent, defiant power of someone who has chosen to be a fortress of inner peace, no matter what assault the world launches against it. It is the mark of a person who has achieved a rare and beautiful mastery, the mastery of themselves. Chapter 9, The Invitation to Return to Stillness. We are all on a journey, and that journey will inevitably be filled with storms. There will be moments when you lose your composure, when you react in anger, or when you feel overwhelmed by anxiety. This is not a failure, it is simply part of being human. The goal is not to be a perfect, unfeeling robot, but to be a person who always knows the way back home to their inner stillness. No matter how chaotic the world becomes, no matter how much noise and turbulence you face, you have an invitation to return to stillness. You don't need to go on a spiritual retreat or escape to a mountaintop. Your breath is always there to ground you. Your values are always there to guide you. Your reason is always there to provide clarity. These are your anchors in the storm, and they are always accessible, no matter where you are or what you are facing. Calm is not a destination you arrive at one day. It is not something you find or stumble upon. Calm is something you practice. It is a choice you make, over and over again, in 1,000 small moments every single day. So, take a breath. Release the tension in your shoulders. Return to stillness. The power you seek is not outside you, but waiting patiently within. If you found this perspective grounding, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. What helps you stay calm when chaos surrounds you? And if this brought you peace, like and subscribe to keep this calm energy flowing every week.